Okay, so I'm going to make a pattern picture here, and I was really liking, let me get it this way, yeah, the patterns I saw by that artist Jen Stark. So I would say you should probably start in pencil, but I'm going to start in a Sharpie or a pen just so you guys can see. But that Jen Stark was the artist that did like the really cool drips. So I'm going to start at the top of my page and I'm just going to kind of draw a wavy line. And if I think of something dripping, I don't want it to just be like this perfect drip. I want it to be like there's parts that come down lower. A drip, it's not supposed to be something perfect. And then I'm going to keep repeating that line. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Each time it can kind of change. So I'm going to start here. And I like to kind of think about it like if you think about like an Oreo cookie and the icing in between the cookies. So I'm kind of leaving that Oreo icing between my lines. So I'm definitely creating movement and I'm creating pattern because I'm having this line repeat. I'm going to go a little bit faster. And I could choose to fill up the whole page, or I could kind of leave some of this like empty space down here. Or maybe I want to flip it and make it look like I have drips coming from the other side. And you can have this change if you want. I'll make it change the next time. A lot of Jen Stark's drips are overlapping on top of others. So I'm going to start kind of with like another drippy section over here. So maybe this one. Is right there. So this time I'm starting from the bottom and I'm going to work my way up. So it's still that kind of Oreo icing in between the lines. I'm going to go all the way up. If you run into a part, like I'm going to run into these lines here, I'm just going to kind of jump over it. And that's going to make it kind of seem like it's hiding behind that other drip. So it's kind of, this drip's overlapping this one. Okay. So now, this project's about color, right? So I happen to have a little color wheel, but you guys can go back to that other picture that has the color wheel that we talked about. And I decided that for my project, I want to go with an analogous color scheme. So if you remember, those are the colors that are kind of neighbors on the color wheel. So I'm going with my reds and pinks, and I'm going to go this way. So that means I'm going to need some oranges and yellows. And I wanted to make it all the way over to my neighbor green. then maybe I'll start thinking about going into blues. So those are my analogous colors that I made. So you could use markers, you can use crayons. I'm just going to use colored pencils for mine. So I could decide to kind of rotate, like, okay, I always use red and then I use pink and kind of just keep going down my line of colors, or I can kind of mix it up. So it's up to you. I'm pretty sure you don't want to watch me color this whole thing. So I'm not going to, but I'll post a picture of it when it is finished so you can see. If you are using colored pencils, maybe kind of play with the pressure. So see how I'm really taking my time to color in my space and control my hand. I could press harder with my color to make it more vibrant or more bright. Okay, and then I think I'm going to go with some lime green because these colors are going to be analogous colors that are kind of neighbors in my color wheel. Like their neighbors are a little bit far away from one another, right? But it works. But green is also a complement to red, so it's going to give a little bit of more of a pop of contrast, which is fun. Maybe I'll go over that darker green. And I'm just going to keep going and filling in my drips. This part down here, I'm probably going to want to use some colors that are a little bit different from what I have up here, just to kind of show that this is a separate part. So I'll post a picture of this when it's all done, but there's your start.